What's up, everybody? This is George CLC Samuels, aka the Bitcoin Preacher, and today we've got our Sunday sermon. And the topic for today is actually around crypto winter. Now, before we get into the crypto winter, what it means, and what it suggests for the coming month or two, or maybe even three, let's take a look at our normal stream of news. Starting off first with our general market cap. All right, so I'm just gonna flip. Okay, so here we have, of course, coinmarketcap.com, and we've got Bitcoin, Ethereum, Ripple, and Bitcoin Cash. So those have been pretty stable, top 4 to 5 over the last month or two. Noting that, back in December, we saw Ripple rise to the top of the ranks. Cardano still at number 5. Litecoin is all the way down at number 7. And NEM, at number 8, there was some news recently that was a bit concerning, but nothing that is not familiar or common, unfortunately, in the crypto world. And that news actually was this: $530 million in XM stolen from CoinCheck can be traced back. NEM team confirms. All right, so apparently around $534 million was stolen from CoinCheck. So CoinCheck being the exchange there, and that's a large sum of money. And this just goes back to a lot of the coins that are coming out. There's a lot of security issues, and also these exchanges. Right? This is why we always say to those who are new to the crypto space, don't trust the exchanges at this point in time. I personally do not keep a large holding of my crypto money on exchanges. If I get any profits or any significant amounts, I'll always put it back to my offline wallet. And my offline wallet, there's a bunch of options, but I highly recommend Exodus as an offline wallet. And of course, there are many other ways that you can back up your crypto. So, it's really important that you still continue to be wary of exchanges. And if you are going to use any exchanges, be sure to use an exchange that is at least at the top of the trust list, like Coinbase or Binance or any of those. Usually if there's more usage, doesn't necessarily mean that it's safer. It just means that it's more likely to have the resources put towards it to make sure that nothing happens. All right, so yeah, this was definitely an interesting piece of news during the week. Now going back, and apologies if there is a poor connection at the moment. I'm gonna see if I can. All right. Yep. Just have to switch my Wi-Fi up. All right. So back to CoinMarketCap. Of course, it will, in terms of everything going up and then just kind of plummeting from December and crashing to here where it is today. All right. For those of you who are new to the space, remember, everything is relative. So when people say it's crashing, relative to what point in time? All right. If you had bought in at the beginning, despite the crash, you are still up. You are still profiting. Okay. The hodlers are still the ones who seem to be benefiting the most. But if you're gonna hodl in some strong coins. All right. Remember, this is not financial advice. Bitcoin. All right, so that's where we're at the moment. Last week, it's been going up and down, as you can see here. I think it's settling in around 11,000, I believe. Yep, that's 11,900 US dollars. It did go below. If you look at that, it almost hit $10,000. People were think that it was going to go below $10,000. So it's interesting to see how things have been unfolding. But yeah, you know, you may look at this and say, oh, you know, things are flatlining. But if we're honest and we take a look at a lot of the other coins, you know, the entire market has been sort of flat, right? I mean, even look here. Which one is that? NEM. Okay, so well, that makes sense. Boom. All right, but everything's kind of just flat. All right, and I'll talk about this soon in terms of how that relates to the crypto winter. Now we've got Bitcoin Cash as well. We always go over Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash because these two, you know, they've got their kind of civil war going on between the two of them, fighting for hash power. But this is Bitcoin Cash's life. Okay, now remembering that they came up in August. Still relatively young compared to BTC Bitcoin, all right? And you know, its peak and its troughs are kind of similar to Bitcoin's at the moment, but that's the overall market, all right? So in December, all of them were going up. Everybody was a prophet, right? And still now, you know, everyone's claiming to be a prophet, but you know, it was flatlining as well. Let's have a look. 7 days logarithmic scale. All right, can you see any similarities? All right, that's BTC Bitcoin, and that is Bitcoin Cash. Okay, so it's very, very interesting to see what is happening between both of these two coins, because remember, they're both sharing the same blockchain network. All right, coming up now, apparently there's some news that should be coming out before the end of this month around Bitcoin Cash that should, I don't know how much it will move or sway the price, because I think the overall meta seasonal effect still has some influence. And I'm with Cliff High in terms of predictions around things, and I'm just gonna bring up Cliff High's website. For those of you who do not know Cliff High, I refer to him quite a lot. He's one of the trusted sources that I use to sort of time things and get a feel for what's happening in the market. All right. So Cliff High invented predictive linguistics back in 1993, and then I think in 96 or 98, he invented a web bot, or created a web bot that utilized his predictive linguistics across the web to, you know, make some predictions, all based on data, but all based on, you know, the emotions of public chatter and social sentiment. And it's really interesting. If you ever get a chance, he puts out his reports about once a month, and it's about $100, and I always purchase it because it's kind of like weather forecast. You know, it gives you an idea of what could come. You can prepare for it, but you know, anything's possible. All right. So yeah, Cliff High, he does talk about in March there being significant movements. And that is in line with the northern hemisphere of springtime. So if you look at the different seasons, and I'm just going to bring this up. Boom. This is called the Wealth Dynamics Square. I'll get into that, into the Wealth Dynamics Square a bit later on. But let's bring up one. Okay. So if you just, hopefully you can see, all right, we've got the spring energy here. Now these are the 4 seasons. Okay. The Wealth Dynamics Square was invented by Roger James Hamilton, and kind of brings in together it brings in together the Myers-Briggs personality profile test learnings and system combined with Western Confucius philosophies as well. Sorry, it's actually the I Ching. And I Ching was, I believe, a sort of divination method that was used by the Chinese to, you know, get your future forecasted. So, but there was a bunch of different systems put into the Wealth Dynamics Square, and I've used it over the last couple of years, and it's been pretty interesting to apply it to a lot of different aspects of my life over the years. You could probably even apply, you know, Feng Shui to this as well. All same principles, all based off of nature. Anyways, that aside, we've got the 4 seasons, okay? So the springtime in the northern hemisphere is usually from April, May to June, okay? But the wintertime right now in the northern hemisphere, that is, yeah, that's here, all right? And so this is the period of the winter that the northern hemisphere is going through, right? December, January, February, March. And this is kind of what is being experienced in the crypto markets. It's essentially where, if you think about what happened, and let's go back. Okay, let's go back to 3 months, 1 year, 1 year. Okay, all right. So it's like all the cycles, right? Spring, summer, autumn, winter. And if you think about what happens to trees, right? They shed all their leaves, all right? And then significantly, you can see a lot of leaves were shed. And according to Cliff High from Half Past Human, during this next period of spring, summer, so spring coming in around March, this is where we'll start to see movements with the entire crypto market. All right, so this is where things blossom, things start to accelerate, new life, etc. Because I don't know about you, but have you noticed that things have been relatively quiet on the crypto side? Yes, there's a lot of activity, but it seems like everybody's sort of consolidating. The hype, the buzz around it isn't as high as it was back in December, or even the last 6 months. And according to Cliff High, this does have to do with the seasonal effects. All right, and noting Chinese New Year comes February 16th, so mid-February, and a lot of folks are saying that about 3 weeks before Chinese New Year is when the crypto markets usually take a plunge, because a lot of the Asian market cash out to buy things before Chinese New Year. Whether that is true or not, you can do your research and follow up on that. But that was the general chatter on social media around that. So going back, look out for this spring period around March, all right? And especially after Chinese New Year, which is mid-February. So between then until March, should see some more movement. And this is, remember, I'm talking about at a meta level, all right? So this is like higher, what are the influence at a higher level. In terms of specific coins and which one will come out on top or whatever, it's anyone's game right now. And really, because it's such a new market, anyone that's making a call, like all of them are gonna kind of do well, but like the startup ecosystem, it's gonna be about, out of the 90% of coins that come out in ICOs, which ones will last. All right, so if you're an investor, you're looking at the long term of the money that you put into coins now, how long is it gonna last? All right, so yeah, highly recommend Cliff High's work. Wealth Dynamics, if you get a chance, look it up. This is another system that I actually use for navigating my career. I've used it for the last like 5 to 7 years, and it's been great. Essentially, you find out what type of entrepreneur you are. It all has to do with the flow of wealth. So highly relevant to the crypto space. And yeah, it's all about just matching up your game plan and matching up what type of game you're playing based on your personality profile that's based on this system. All right, because everybody has a different game to play, and I followed that game. All right, so now I'm gonna take you to Twitter, just so you can see what I've been retweeting and sort of what the general chatter is. All right, and the general chatter that I've been seeing across the social web at this point in time, as I said, it's a crypto winter. A lot of people are sort of preparing, planning, regathering things, becoming a bit more introspective, reflecting. And then I believe, come February, March, things will pick up again, and all the way up until the end of the year. So, it really is a good time to sort of store, think about what you're gonna do next, and then take action as required. Okay, so here's some interesting news that I saw. recently. Tether has dissolved relationship with auditor Friedman LLP. So if you're not familiar with the controversy around Tether, USD Tether, so this particular token is backed up by the US dollar, 1-for-1, but there's been a lot of controversy, especially based on the information that has come from this particular account, Bitfinex. So if you are not familiar with Bitfinex, I suggest you do some Googling on this account. Whether it's a he or she, have no idea, but this guy is all about exposing lies and definitely bringing out some highly controversial things, so much so that the folks who are responsible for creating USD Tether, I think even tried to sue him as well. But yeah, you'll see, some very interesting information come out. So right here, Bitfinex, and this guy's been talking about Bitfinex for a long time. When I say long time, as long as Tether has been out. So we thought about committing fraud, but we totally didn't. CFO originally decided against pushing blah, blah, blah. So yeah, I'm not gonna go into the controversy or the conspiracy theories around this, but it's definitely one to keep an eye on. I don't personally get involved with USD Tether, just because, yeah, my intuition also tells me there's something not quite right about it at this point in time. All right, the other piece of news that came out that was really interesting was Robinhood. All right, now from what I know about Robinhood, they are a trading app. Just gonna bring them up. All right, and now here's their claim. Invest in Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies 24/7 and commission free. That's a big deal. All right, if you have money on your exchanges, like, you know, Binance and Independent Reserve, if you're in Australia, or Coinbase, etc., imagine, you know, commission free trades. All right, now I know that the Robinhood app is actually quite like snazzy. All right, and previously Robinhood was only available for well, everything pre-crypto, but now that you can actually trade cryptocurrencies, that makes it really appealing. All right, yeah, look at this. Get early access, 906,000. Yeah, I put in, yesterday it was 600,000. So in the last 24 hours, it's gone up $300,000. 300,000 people. And yeah, I put in my details, I think, at about 60,000. So we're gonna see how that pans out. So definitely this is one to watch and look out for. All right. Now I did also see, yes, okay. So this type of news is also what I'm starting to see more of. There's been a lot of conversations recently around Lightning Network. So if you're not familiar with Lightning Network is an off-chain, side-chain solution that is being built to essentially help make BTC Bitcoin fees lower. All right, and this goes back to the whole civil war between Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash, BTC versus BCH, because essentially BTC, large majority of the BTC supporters believe that, you know, big blocks are not scalable, even though that is how Bitcoin has scaled all this time. And Bitcoin Cash essentially said, no, it will scale with the big blocks. And through Bitcoin Cash, it is showing that it can and it will. So now, as a result, Lightning Network has been created to solve an artificial problem. And this is completely my strong belief, an artificial problem that, yeah, you know, you didn't really need a solution for at this point in time. But, you know, it is what it is. BTC now has created Lightning Network, and essentially, you know, it's something that, well, at least the folks who support it are trying to get a lot of merchants to adopt Lightning Network, but still without increasing the BTC block size from 1 megabyte. All right, so that means fees get redirected. Instead of going to the miners, or all of it at least going to the miners, it'll go to other parties. All right, so essentially what it's doing is just recreating the bank system, and that I'm not a huge fan of. But I am seeing a lot of folks like this guy here saying, what if the big blockers were right? So it's going to be a very interesting space to see what will happen here. All right, and I'm patient, and of course I'm on the big blocker side. So, and I'm thinking long term, and I know the BTC supporters are also thinking long term, but anyways, that's another topic for another day. Other news. Recently, I thought this was pretty cool. The Brisbane Airport has, I think they become the first Australian, well, it's the first airport I've heard that accepts cryptocurrency payments like officially. So I thought that was pretty cool. Didn't expect it from Brisbane, but the fact that they've grabbed a hold of it, I think it's freaking awesome. Vinny Lingham, I think Vinny also recently was on the news for on CNBC Fast Money to talk about advice on certain coins, BTC, Bitcoin, buy, sell, or hodl, Ethereum, and then Bitcoin Cash as well. And for Bitcoin Cash, he said at this point in time, it's a great time to buy. And I would agree. All right, here's another piece of information. Now this one is from Trust Nodes. Bitcoin can increase block size without losing any level of decentralization, says new study. Now, of course, there's a lot of comments about it. And if you get a chance, go to the actual thread to see all the comments. And I actually do enjoy reading the comments to see all views and hear all sides. You scan as much as you can quickly, but yeah, Craig Wright, he's someone that I follow. Suggest that you follow, despite how you may feel about him, because he does come out with some pretty interesting information that if you are on top of, it'll go a long way. All right, so yeah, this particular one, this study essentially proves what Craig Wright has been saying about Bitcoin the entire time, and for others who also believe in the big blocks, which is Bitcoin Cash at this point in time. All right, another interesting series of developments as well is what's happening around the regulation space. This year, I think we're going to see a lot more regulations take hold, and this is not a surprise, but it may scare a lot of people too. So I personally still keep track of all my transactions for my crypto payments, buying, selling, trading, whatever. And that's all because, just in case if anything happens, well, you still, if you have to pay your taxes and somehow they find a way, you do. All right. Even though I have, my personal views on taxes, you don't want to break the law either. But because this is also new, I think this is going to start shaping the law. Just like Uber did when it disrupted the taxi industries. It didn't ask for permission. It just went out and did it. And, governments had to change their laws to accommodate. All right. Here's another one. I thought this was an interesting message. So Andreas M. Antonopoulos. If you have not heard of him, this guy is a very well known in the Bitcoin space. Awesome guy, dropping lots of knowledge about Bitcoin over the years. As you can see, 356,000 followers. But he also did talk recently about Coinbase possibly not using Lightning Network. And I believe, look at this article. If you get a chance, try and find it. So it's Coinbase exchanges won't run Lightning. All right, so just try to find that particular article and read that. Because, like a lot of people were saying, Lightning Network is untested and it's a new piece of software, which means it's going to be buggy, like any piece of software. But, and this is why there was the case for Bitcoin to scale on-chain and not have some sort of side solution. Is because it can. And with Lightning Network, well, now we will start to see, what's going to happen and, how that does affect merchants and consumers. So, yeah, even though this might be a great sort of developer, a great thing for the developer groups who are working on Lightning Network, it's still, I don't know. I don't have much faith in the Lightning Network itself, but that's my bias. For those of you watching who do, continue to have the debates and also continue to share your facts. And, time will tell to see how well it fares. All right. Other things, Satoshi Vision Conference. Now, this is coming up in March. I've just confirmed that I am going to be going to the Satoshi Vision Conference, so I'm really looking forward to that. So if you get a chance and you are going to Tokyo, I will see you there. The Satoshi Vision Conference, yeah, we'll have a lot of great speakers lined up, including Roger Ver, who, secret between you and I, here, I'm going to put it here. Well, it's not really a secret, but I did manage to confirm an interview with Roger as well this Wednesday. So I will be doing an interview with him and releasing that probably in the next couple weeks. All right. And yeah, one of the benefits of being able to be connected with the right people. All right. So Satoshi Vision Conference. Yes, the 400 million. As you can see, the amount has changed already from 400 million to 526 or so. BitPay merchants are going to be accepting Bitcoin Cash. So if you're not familiar with BitPay, it just makes it easier for merchants to be able to accept cryptocurrencies. All right, so they have partnered up with WooCommerce and a few other merchants there. That's pretty exciting. All right, McAfee. All right, John McAfee. If you are not following him on Twitter yet, I highly recommend you do. Even if it's just for a laugh, the guy, you know, he's a character, you know, and a very, very influential character. But, you know, based on what's said here, I would have to agree, you know. There are no rules right now, really. I know the regulations are coming, so they will come. But this is at another meta level again, spring phase for the entire cryptocurrency space. All right, so that means everything is being formed. All right, it's all new, it's all chaotic. This is part of the spring energy, the spring phase. And then summer is, you know, when things start to get, it's that fire energy, right? And fire requires a spring energy of wood, what's there already, and then you'll start to see more sales and marketing happening in the summer phase, well, whenever that time comes. So it's really interesting to see, you know, who is coming out at this point in time. I think a lot of them have that spring energy or like anything that's new, right? All right, let's have going through. There is a lot of news being shared all the time. Just going through. Now, of course, you're seeing some stuff. This is from my personal Twitter profile because I am a community geek at heart. I do have a lot of community management things that I put up as well. Okay, yes, this particular article came out from Wace. I don't know if that's how you say it or not, but apparently this is called the Wace rating, and you can see here these guys had pretty much rated all the major cryptocurrencies that are out at the moment. Sorry, one second. Letting the airplane go by. It is extremely hot, so I got my window open. Now, we have Bitcoin Cash, I think, got the same or similar. You can see here. All right. So Bitcoin got a C+, Bitcoin Cash got a C-, according to them. All right. And I think definitely worth researching in terms of how they calculate, you know, their prices. But you can see here, 7-day chain, blah, 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 blah. All right. You know, I haven't actually gone into it because I don't really care too much about their ratings. You know, when I invest, I do my own research. But you know, these guys, independent, unbiased, accurate, and trusted accordingly. So you know, still worth checking out if you get a chance. Ethereum and EOS got Bs, right? So if you're investing in those, good, you know, hats off to you. And as you can see, also Cardano, all right, ADA has also gotten a B-. You'll notice, yeah, there's only about 3 coins there that are in the green. So definitely worth checking out if you get a chance as well. Okay, going through, and yeah, here, this is just another random aside, but I'm gonna play this if you can hear it. This guy's named Chris Webby, and I heard his track on Facebook. I got tagged in it, and there was a line on cryptocurrencies, and I thought, hey man, you know, things started to go mainstream. It's showing, you know, the next generation. But yeah, just have a listen because it's so true. you know? And it's so true, right? Forget rap money. You know, cryptocurrencies is the future. You know, I hear more and more kids getting used to telling their parents, especially if they got an allowance or something, and say, hey, mom, dad, can you pay me in, you know, Litecoin or Ethereum or Bitcoin Cash or, you know, whatever coin is their fancy. And it's so interesting to see, because this is where the future is headed. So for those, you know, who are still on the fence, cryptocurrencies are here to stay. It's going to be a matter of, you know, which ones will stay in the long term. So, you know, my bet personally is on Bitcoin Cash, the original Satoshi Bitcoin. All right, let me be clear. Even though there's conflict between BTC and BCH as a cash system, I have strong support for Bitcoin Cash. So yeah, that's why if you hear me talk about it a lot, it's because of that. But don't get me wrong, I still got love for other coins, and we always talk about them here in the Sunday sermons. Continuing on, we'll spend just a couple more minutes, and I'll let you guys enjoy the rest of your Sunday. All right, Tiffany, yeah, Ripple's being a bit quiet as well, so we'll leave it at that. Myers Briggs, blah blah blah. Yep, just going through. Yeah, a lot of meetups taking place around the world. And I think that's really great. All right, final piece of news. I thought this was hilarious. 50 Cent, all right? 50 Cent just happened to realize that he's a Bitcoin millionaire, even though he is a millionaire. He forgot that he actually had a stash of Bitcoin worth now $8.5 million. All right, so, you know, more and more folks in the mainstream or mainstream celebrities getting their, you know, feet wet in the cryptocurrency space. And I think from a marketing side, right? Oh yeah, this takes me to Charlie Lee. Let's have a look. Satoshi Light. So Charlie Lee, for those of you who don't know, is the founder of Litecoin. And you remember I was talking about the energies, right, from spring to summer. And summer is where, you know, spring is where everything is being created, it's all new. And then summer is a time where a lot of the sales marketing energy happens, right? So it's like, okay, we got this new stuff. Oh, we need to magnify it, right? It's that fire energy. We need to start reaching out to celebrities, partnerships, all that sort of stuff. You know, and I feel it is coming. So I just saw this. Boom. All right, Charlie Lee say, hey, and you get my buddies Steph Curry and Trey to use Litecoin. Better yet, let people buy Warriors tickets with LTC. All right. And of course, you have everybody who supports their own coins saying, nope, why don't you use my coin instead, right? Dogecoin is faster and cheaper than Litecoin. Use mine instead. But, you know, at the end of the day, I think you're going to be seeing a lot more of this, where founders of coins or, you know, the real good marketing types are going to be reaching out to the celebrities, right? Bitcoin has the benefit of the brand. You know, everybody is talking about it, everybody knows. So they, yeah, you know, it's familiarity. People are now looking to get in on it. And if they are getting in on it, they'll learn about all this fee stuff, you know. But yeah, just pay attention, right? All of these sort of meta seasonal things, it's important to be aware of. And I'm just gonna quickly check that everything is fine. All right, sorry guys, we're just checking something on the app. All right. Okay, so there you have it for the Sunday sermon for Bitcoin Will Come. Apologies, we didn't have one out last Sunday, but you know, continuing on with them from here on out. If you have any comments, questions, feedback, remember to just put it in the comment section. If you're not a member yet of our private Facebook group, it is called Bitcoin Will Come Private. You'll be able to find it on Facebook. There, we're looking to, you know, create the world's #1 support community for cryptos. Of course, the reason why we call it Bitcoin Will Come is a head nod to Satoshi's Bitcoin, but we do address all other coins, mining, ICOs, etc. We're at about 500 members now. We're not looking to get to, huge numbers. And if you know anything about Facebook groups, I think once you go beyond 1,000, the level of engagement sort of actually stagnates, because you actually have too many conversations or too much traffic coming in that people can't keep up. So you end up having maybe about 10% or less people actually engage with the content. So we aim to keep it at around 1,000, but with high quality members, we may open up a separate paid option soon. But if you want to get in now before that happens, I highly recommend that you do so. So yeah, if you are looking for targeted advice, well, remember, not financial advice, but to learn from other people in the group, what they're doing. We've had some great shares from folks. One of our members recently shared with us his new mining rig up in Canada, I think. And it was really cool to see, because not everybody is involved in the mining side, and huge capital required in order to get involved or to get started, and we're talking millions. So yeah, if that interests you, you want to get started, or you want to learn from others, just go look for Bitcoin Will Come on Facebook. And with that, remember, through patience and persistence, it will come. And if you're wondering what I just said, ask away in the comments, and I'll explain to you what that actually means. All right, peace out, enjoy your Sunday, and may all your wealth dreams come true, and may that wealth come.